This is a beautiful stitch, especially for blankets, for scarves, even for hats or cardigans. Hello once again, welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to be using milk cotton yarn, and this time I'm using two colors, pink and white. If you want, you can use more colors or even a single color. I'm also going to be using a 4mm crochet hook, which corresponds to the size of yarn that I'm going to be using. If you don't have this type of yarn, you can use any other type of yarn that you have and a corresponding crochet hook. So let's begin. So for this tutorial, you need to begin with an odd number of chains, and examples of odd numbers are 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on. For this tutorial, I'm going to chain 15. So you begin with a slip knot, and then pull through. Next, I'm going to chain 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to continue and come back with 15 chains. To begin the first row, I'm going to skip the first 2 chains from the hook. 1, 2, and we're going to crochet double crochet. So this is double crochet in US terms and treble crochet in UK terms. So I yarn over, insert into the third chain from the hook, and over, pull through 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. So we move into the next, insert and work another double crochet, and then pull through into the next one, like this. So I'm going to continue with 1 double crochet in each chain up until all the chains are done. So this is my first row, and if you're to count your double crochets, you'll find that we have 13 double crochets. So this chain 2 that we did at the beginning here does not count as a stitch. Okay, so next we move to the next row. So the next row is going to be the wrong side of our work, so we chain 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Now we're working on the wrong side. So we're going to begin in the very first stitch, this one, and we're going to put 1 single crochet. So this is single crochet in US terms and double crochet in UK terms, like that. In the following, put 1 single crochet into the next, 1 single crochet. In the next one, 1 single crochet. So I'm going to continue up until we're in the last stitch. So I'm almost at the end of the second row. 1 single crochet. Then this is the last stitch of the row. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet. However, I want to change the color from pink to white. So my last yarn over here, I'm going to change the color and introduce white. Okay. So here at the end, I'm going to yarn over with white. So I'll have to tie here at the end so that my stitch is not loose. Okay, so now we've completed the second row. So moving on to the next row, which is the third row, we chain 2, 1, and then 2, then we turn. So now we're crocheting on the right side of our work. And then in the first stitch, this one, okay, I'm going to yarn over and work 1 double crochet. Pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. So here at the bottom, this is our first double crochet. This part here, this one, does not count as a stitch, so this is the first double crochet and it corresponds to this part. So this is 2 rows below. This is the double crochet that we did in the first row, and we are now in the third row. So moving on into the next stitch, this one, we're going to skip the top part and we move 2 rows below to this double crochet, and we want to insert our hook in the front post, okay, like this. And we're going to work a treble crochet, okay, a front post treble crochet. So you yarn over twice, skip this part and insert here, grab your yarn, pull through. So you should have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops, like this. So at the back here, you skip the stitch at the top and you move into the next one. So you're going to alternate double crochet, front post, treble crochet. So move into the next stitch. Okay, you can see that we've skipped this part because we worked the front post down here. So next you work a double crochet like this. Okay, next you yarn over twice. We now want to work the front post treble crochet like this one. So this double crochet corresponds to this one at the top, so this stitch here corresponds to this one. Okay, so I insert here, go through, yarn over, go to the first 2 loops, yarn over, go through like this. Okay, and make sure the corresponding stitch, you skip it at the top here. So in the next stitch we put 1 double crochet like this. Okay, so we continue. In the next we're going to put a front post treble crochet in here and then a double crochet in here. So let's do that up until we're towards the end of the row. Okay, so now I'm left with 2 stitches. Okay, so that's 1, 2. I just did a double crochet at the top here. So next we're going to do a treble crochet. So we skip this one and come in here. And then in the last stitch we're going to put 1 double crochet like this. Okay, so this completes the 4th row. Moving on to the 5th row, I'm going to chain 1, a turning chain, and then we turn. Now we're working on the wrong side and we're going to crochet a single crochet in each stitch throughout. So begin in the first stitch and work 1 single crochet, in the next 1 single crochet, in the next 1 single crochet. So I'm going to continue and come back on the other end. So here I'm at the end of the row. So I want to change yarn color again. So the last yarn over, I'm going to pick again the pink. Okay. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Let's move on to the 5th row. We chain 2, 1, and then 2, and then we turn. So now here, to work the 5th row, we're supposed to alternate double crochet in the current row and front post treble crochet 2 rows below. Okay, so you find that a stitch that was a treble crochet, front post treble, is supposed to be a double crochet at the top, and then this one that was a double crochet, we skip the top part and we work a front post treble crochet in here. So here at the beginning, this one here that I'm holding is a chain 2 and does not count as a stitch. So our first stitch 2 rows below is this one, and you find that this is a double crochet, and we said if 2 rows below is a double crochet, that means we put a front post treble crochet in that stitch and skip the top part. But because this is the first stitch, if we put a front post treble crochet 2 rows below, you find that we'll have small gaps along the edges. So to avoid that, we're going to skip, we're not going to put a front post treble here. We're going to put a double crochet in the first stitch. So this is only for this row where we're supposed to begin with front post treble crochet. And then in the next stitch, 2 rows below, you find that we have a front post treble. So that means you put 1 double crochet at the top, like this. And then in the next stitch, this one, 2 rows below, we have this double crochet. So the difference that you can tell that this is a double crochet and this is a treble, a double is shorter than the front post treble. Okay, so this one is a double, so we're going to put a front post treble 2 rows below the current row that we are working on, like this. Okay, and then in the next, this was two rows below, it was a treble, front post treble, so we're now putting a double crochet at the top. Remember, if you put a treble, remember to skip the top part here. So next we put a double crochet in the current row, like this. Okay, in the next, it's a double, so we put a front post treble, like this. In the next, it was a treble, front post treble, so we put a double crochet at the top. So here at the end, here I'm putting a double crochet. So you find that we have a double here, so we're supposed to put a front post treble, just like at the beginning. So since we said if we put front post treble, we'll have small gaps along the edges, we're just going to put 1 double crochet in the last stitch, like this. Okay, so we're only doing this for this row. Okay, if your row begins with a front post, you instead of a front post, you put a double crochet. So next we move on to row 6. You chain 1 and then we turn. And this row is going to be a single crochet row, and we are crocheting in the wrong side. We begin in the first stitch, put 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, 1 single crochet. So let's put 1 single crochet throughout, and this is the 6th row. Sorry. So here we are now at the end of the 6th row. So in the last stitch, you put 1 single crochet and then we change the yarn. Okay, we move to the next one, which is the 7th. So you turn. So we've now done six rows, and from here onwards you'll be repeating row 3 up to row 6. Okay, so the 7th row we're going to repeat row 3 that we did. So here we begin with a double crochet in the first stitch, and this is what we did in the 3rd row. And then we've done double crochet at the top of this one. We move to the next one, we put front post treble crochet, like this. And here we put 1 double crochet at the top, like this. And then in the next we put a treble 2 rows below. So this pattern here is a 4-row repeat. You might wonder why I didn't say it's a 2-row repeat. There's a difference between row 3 and row 5, the way we began those 2 rows. You find that with row 3, which is the one that we're repeating now in the 7th row, we began with a double crochet followed by a front post treble crochet, and we also finish with a front post treble crochet and a double crochet. Whereas in the fifth row, which is this one, we began with 2 double crochets. Okay, this one followed by this one, and then in the last we put 2 double crochets again. And I mentioned earlier on, we did this to prevent putting a front post treble crochet on the ends here along the edges, as they create small holes along the edges. So that's the difference between the 2 rows, row 3 and row 5. However, the rest in the middle part is the same. Row 4 is single crochet and row 6 is single crochet again. So we're going to be repeating row 3 up to row 6, up until you reach your desired length. So this is the right side and this is the wrong side. Okay, and here we have a bigger version of that sample. Okay, this is a beautiful stitch, especially for blankets, for scarves, even for hats or cardigans. You can use this modified Alpine stitch. Okay, so thank you for watching Mirrymascrochet. Please do subscribe, like and comment for more videos. Thank you.